शक्ति से परिचित कराएं। इसीलिए आज हमने ये Y20 युवा मंथन समिट का आयोजन किया है। मैं रिक्वेस्ट करूंगी आपका 5 कंट्रीज के हेड ऑफ स्टेट से जो कि यहाँ पर मंच पर आ जाएं अपने फ्लैग के साथ में। मैं एक एक करके नाम लेती हूँ, तो कृपया मंच पर अपना आसन ग्रहण करें आकर के। टर्की से अमृतांश भारती, अमृतांश भारती इज हियर। मैक्सिको से विजय कुमार, अपने फ्लैग के साथ आ जाइए प्लीज। प्लीज जोरदार तालियों से स्वागत करिए इनका। अपने फ्लैग के साथ आ जाइएगा। फ्लैग को निकाल लीजिए, निकल जाएगा डबल टेप से लगा हुआ। कनाडा से अंकित कुमार प्रजापति, रिपब्लिक ऑफ कोरिया से अर्पित नागर, जापान से अभिज्ञा, अमृतांश भारती is available here. Please take your seat here. हमारे बीच में हमारे माननीय जज आ चुके हैं। मैं जोरदार तालियों के साथ स्वागत करना चाहूंगी डॉक्टर दीपक पठानिया जी का, जो कि डीन रिसर्च हैं और इस राउंड के जज भी। और मैं जोरदार तालियों के साथ स्वागत करना चाहूंगी प्रोफेसर वंदना शर्मा मैम का, जो कि डीन ऑफ लैंग्वेजेस हैं एंड इस राउंड की जज भी। अब मैं डॉक्टर रितु मैम से अनुग्रह करूंगी, कृपया पठानिया सर को स्मृति चिन्ह भेंट करें। जोरदार तालियों से स्वागत करिए प्लीज। अब मैं डॉक्टर रितु मैम से पुनः आग्रह करूंगी कि डॉक्टर वंदना शर्मा मैम का स्मृति चिन्ह दे करके स्वागत करें। बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद मैम आपका। मैं पार्टिसिपेंट्स को पुनः बताना चाहूंगी कि आपकी स्पीच के लिए आपके पास 3 मिनट्स दिए गए हैं। 3 मिनट में आपको अपनी स्पीच कंप्लीट करनी होगी। प्रॉज एंड कॉन्सिक्वेंसेस आपसे पहले ही शेयर किए जा चुके हैं, तो उसे मुझे दोबारा रिपीट करने की जरूरत नहीं है। और इसी के साथ ये राउंड हम अब स्टार्ट करते हैं। तो माइक प्लीज, मैं रहूंगी। उनका कंट्री फ्लैग दिखता है, वहीं से बोल देंगे तो उनका कंट्री फ्लैग दिखता है। हाँ हाँ। अब मैम स्टार्ट करें, अगर हमारे जजेस की परमिशन हो तो। मिनिमम हाँ 2 से 3 मिनट का आपका समय रहेगा। हाँ मैक्सिमम 3 मिनट। यहाँ से तो 1 by 1 अपनी कंट्री के साथ आप रिप्रेजेंट करना स्टार्ट करिए। सबसे पहले अमृतांश भारती अपने आप को रिप्रेजेंट करेंगे, जो कि टर्की को हेड कर रहे हैं बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद, जोरदार तालियों से स्वागत करेंगे।
Merhaba, I'm Amitansh Bharti from British Electronics and representing Turkey. Sorry. So, first of all, I would like to say thank you to all the G20 members and other nations around the world who helped us, Turkey, throughout this earthquake that we faced a few months ago. It was a great to see how we as a nation can collab and conquer the disaster like earthquake. And that was a time when I realized that like our civilizational legacy is about wars. But what if we as a country, we as an empire can collab and build a system where we can avoid wars, where we can uplift people and give them a better life and work for the advancement of human civilization. I was thinking about it, like how G20 nation and other nation can collaborate. There were many things that came up to my mind. First one was the economic collaboration. Economic collaboration to the in the conflict hit area and the global south. I mean, most of the conflict hit area is in the global south, and they were the one who were the victim of colonialism, the what do you say, the trapping of all these economic flows from up to down to up, like the up that is global north suck up the global south. So there are some suggestions that I would like to make to G20 Council and all the countries to take up the. I would like to request, I would urge to the hosting nation, that is India, to take up the policies like G20 startup policy that we can bring in the conflict hit area and the global south. I'll share you the proposal form just after my speech. I would also like to tell you that if we can somehow incubate the NGOs to fund them, I mean, NGO as an incubator in the conflicted area and the global south, that would be helpful. Apart from that, I would like to bring you notice for the G20 cultural exchange program, where we can provide G20 scholarship kind of thing, where we can collab on films, drama, art, culture, and we can bring our people closer. And apart from G20, we also need to focus on the conflicted area. Like, say, there is a conflict in Israel and Palestine. If we can somehow ask them to engage culturally at least, we can minimize the collateral damage that we have to face every year. So that is one thing that I would like to focus on. Another thing that I would like to bring the notice of G20 members is we should encourage all the nation for the advancement of SDG. We should form a panel where G20 work for the acceleration of SDG in the conflict area and global south. Those are the area where SDG lacks. So I would like to say, like form all the nation to come up with a policy where we can accelerate the SDG program that is by UN to adapt it and make it faster in conflict area. Because those are the places where we are slow. Apart from that, I would also like to say that all the conflicted area and all the conflicted nation.
You just have 10 seconds.
My last request is to India, that is to make Islamic Organization of Islamic Countries as a permanent guest member of G20 Council. Thank you.
Thank you. Pass the mic. Now, हम एक बजर कर दें, बजर कर दें। Okay. Next, I would like to request Abhigya, who is representing Japan. Please, please.
A very good afternoon to everyone. I am Abhigya Lange from the Department of NSS. I'm a research scholar and representing Japan today. Ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests and friends of peace. Today, we are witnessing a journey of a nation that has been marked by compassion and a profound commitment to shaping a better world. Japan stands a symbolic example of dedication of the noble causes of conflict and peace building. To truly understand Japan's contribution to global peace and justice, we must first delve into its remarkable historical context. The story of Japan is one of transformation, an epic tale of a nation that rose from the ashes of World War II to become a champion of peace. In the aftermath of that devastating conflict, Japan experienced the unimaginable horrors of atomic bombing. Yet, from the ashes of destruction, Japan emerged as a phoenix, determined to ensure that such suffering would never befall on humanity again. The dedication of disarmament is one of the most moving instances of peace efforts. Japan signed the NPT in 1970. This historic decision demonstrated Japan's determination to prevent the spread of nuclear weapons and strive towards the world free of lethal weapons. Japan's transformation from the only victim of nuclear strikes to a passionate supporter of disarmament illustrates its commitment to a more peaceful world. Furthermore, Japan's peace diplomacy extends to the global peace effects. Japan has continuously provided its commitment to supporting decision and long-term peace efforts, from Cambodia peace process that happened in 1990s to its engagement in Israel-Palestine peace talks. Furthermore, Japan's role in peacekeeping operation in conflict zones like South Sudan highlights its ongoing commitment to prevent conflict and peace building. We, under the theme of One Earth, One Family, and One Future, our future emphasizes the importance of observing the UN Charter and achieving just and lasting peace in Ukraine. It is important for the withdrawal of forces from Ukraine to achieve peace, as well as provision of assistance to those who are vulnerable in these situations. We also affirm the need to solidify the increasing adverse impact of the world peace as well as economy. With the help of the other members of G20, we not only want to focus on the disarmament, but also comprehensive security. Security based on political, military, economic, environment, and human aspects. One of the major things that we learned after World War II was war do not affect the borders, but the people living in those borders. Thank you.
Thank you, Aditya. Now, next is Amit, but he's representing as Arpit because in the last moment the train was switched. So Amit is going to represent the Republic of Korea. So जोरदार तालियों से स्वागत करिए.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Myself, Amit Sisodia from NSS department. I am deeply honored to stand before you today as the chaperone representing the Republic of Korea at the Y20 Event, a forum where the youth unite to deliberate and propose solutions for the most pressing international issues. Allow me to illuminate South Korea's stand in forging consensus for equitable collaboration of the global North and global South. South Korea is guided by the visionary new foreign policy that strives to strengthen the relationship between the global North and global South. The bridge between these two regions is important in bringing global consensus on the pressing issues of peace building and reconciliations. This can be achieved by syncing the regional initiative with the global norms. Within this framework, South Korea has already embarked on fresh negotiation for the free trade agreements and has introduced an official development assistance strategy. Our dedication to peace reaches beyond our national borders, as we share common interest in vital international issues such as freedom of navigation, principle of UNCLOS, and stability in the Taiwan Strait, and the denuclearization of the North Korea, of which are pivotal for the region as well as the global stability. In an era where cybersecurity poses a global challenge, South Korea has taken substantial measures to fortify its cyber defenses. Initiatives such as Cyber Security Cooperation Committee with ASEAN undergo our commitment to establish a secure and peaceful cyber environment. Our objective with this initiative is to foster additional layer of cooperation, often running parallel to regional endeavors This approach aligns seamlessly with our long-standing commitment to global peacekeeping. The unwavering commitment to conflict resolution and post-conflict reconstruction serve as a testament to our devotion to peace. Our commitment to arms control and non-proliferation is unwavering, as we actively support internationalization initiatives aimed at curbing the spread of nuclear weapon, that is denuclearization, remain a paramount objective. And we tirelessly advocate for this cause on the region as well as the global stage. In the pursuit of peace on the Korean Peninsula, South Korea has a history of engagement optimized by the Sunshine Policy. Despite the uneven progress,
The name is Arpit Nagar.
we persistently labor toward peaceful coexistence as shown in the India's approach of diplomacy. Furthermore, South Korea maintains a robust development assistance program extending financial and technical support to nations in need. In the end, the Republic of Korea takes a strong stand to endure the social and economic stability of the world through free trade, tourism, poverty reduction programs, women empowerment, innovation, and knowledge sharing. As peace cannot be established only through the absence of armed conflict. Thank you.
बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद। अब मैं बुलाना चाहूंगी अंकित कुमार प्रजापति को, जो कि कनाडा को रिप्रेजेंट कर रहे हैं। जोरदार तालियों से स्वागत करिए।
Good afternoon, fellow delegates and friends. It is honor to be with you today. I am here to address some major themes that our country has been focusing on: future of works, peace building and reconciliation, climate changes and disaster risk reduction, safe future and health, well-being and sports. Canada has a strong tradition to contribute international peace and security through peacing mission. It actively participates in UN peacekeeping efforts, showing its dedication to global peace building. Canada continuously emphasizes on diplomacy, diplomacy and rule of law in its foreign policy. Canada recognizes the importance of youth in shaping the future of peace and reconciliation. It supports youth lead initiative and encourage young people to be active participants in promoting peace. Canada collaborates with international organizations like United Nations to address global challenges related to peace and reconciliation. It actively engages in diplomatic efforts and support initiatives that seek to resolve conflict peacefully. We recognize that addressing environment issues such as climate change can contribute to preventing resource conflicts and promoting stability. We invest in educational programs that teach and history that experiences of indigenous people, fostering understanding of indigenous peoples and empathy among its citizens. We are committed to peaceful conflict resolution through diplomacy, negotiation, and dialogue. At last, I want to finish off by saying that Canada approach to peace building and reconciliation is rooted in commitment to human rights, diversity, collaboration, both domestically and on the global stage. It is time to be model for peaceful coexistence and conflict resolution. Thank you very much.
थैंक यू मिस्टर अंकित। अब मैक्सिको के लिए मैं रिप्रेजेंट करना चाहूंगी रिप्रेजेंटेटिव को विजय कुमार।
My name is Vijay Kumar and my department is Bibhag Banking. Thank you for inviting to speak on the topic equitable collaboration between global north and global south. Global north has been more economically developed, and while the global south has been not global south has been significantly challenges in the term of poverty, education, and underdevelopment. Education and skill development are also crucial in promoting equitable collaboration. By investing in quality of education, vocational training, and empower the individual in global south to contribute their own development and participate respecting in global decision-making process. Furthermore, we must recognize the value of the knowledge, expertise, and perspective of the global south. In addition, we need to promote South-to-South cooperation. This involves extensive partnership and collaboration among country in global south. Lastly, we assure the partnership and representation of the global south in global institutions. At a nation, regardless of their size or economic strength, global have a voice in shaping of the global policy and agenda. In conclusion, equitable collaboration between global north and global south is essential for the global development and stability. By promoting idea of economic growth, advertising structure in equality, investing in education, value of knowledge and expertise of the global south, promoting and south to south cooperation. As the PM of the Mexico, I am contribute to working towards this goal and fostering a fair behavior and partnership between these two regions. Thank you.
Thank you, the head of states of Mexico, Turkey, Canada, and the Republic of Korea and Japan. आप लोग अपना स्थान ग्रहण कर लीजिए. Next 5 मैं countries को invite करना चाहूंगी. The United States, Germany, the European Union, United Kingdom, and France. कृपया हेड ऑफ स्टेट मंच पर आ जाएं. यूनाइटेड स्टेट्स को रिप्रेजेंट कर रहे हैं हर्ष प्रताप सिंह हदर. जर्मनी को रिप्रेजेंट कर रही हैं कस्तूरी सिरिगदी. यूरोपियन यूनियन को रिप्रेजेंट कर रही हैं नाइला तबस्सुम. यूनाइटेड किंगडम को रिप्रेजेंट कर रही हैं नंदिनी शर्मा. एंड फ्रांस को रिप्रेजेंट कर रही हैं प्रियंका सिंह. सबसे पहले मैं रिक्वेस्ट करूंगी यूनाइटेड स्टेट्स के हेड ऑफ स्टेट हर्ष प्रताप सिंह हदर को कि अपना स्पीच दें. जोरदार तालियों से स्वागत करें.
Good afternoon, everyone. I, Harsh Pratap Singh Hada, representing United States of America as the state of head, Joe Biden. And first and foremost, I wish to extend our gratitude to India for hosting this pivotal gathering of nations. I stand before you to discuss a topic of paramount importance, that is peace building and reconciliation, ushering in an era of no war. In recent times, we have seen a devastating incident like the conflict between the non-state actors and wars among the societies, which have left so many scars in the societies for not only for this generation, for the upcoming generation. But also we have to recognize the remarkable stories of rebuilding and reconciliation, which has been done by India, USA, and other nations to heal and to forge a path of peace. United States of America, propose implementation of the 2030 agenda both at home and around the world. First agenda is delivering of necessary resources to developing countries. Second, delivering a better, bigger, and more efficient World Bank so that every developing country can take funds, supporting countries that fall into an economic crisis. And currently, we are working for just peace in Ukraine by delivering on food security, as there had been a food security crisis due to the unlawful war by the Russia. And on this G20 meeting, I urge all of the nations to call upon the Russia for stopping the weaponizing the food, because it is creating immense human suffering around the world. And also we propose an agenda for the India for the sustainable biofuels are critical to facilitate net zero by 2050. Now, in this era of no war that we aspire to usher in, let us be the architect of the world where our children and grandchildren inherited not the legacy of the conflict, but the promise of more peaceful, just, and prosperous future for all. Moreover, the US must remain committed to upholding human rights and promoting democracy worldwide. Thank you.
थैंक यू हर्ष. नेक्स्ट इज जर्मनी, जो कि रिप्रेजेंट कर रही हैं कस्तूरी तिरगदी. तो कृपया अपना स्पीच दीजिए कस्तूरी. जोरदार तालियों से स्वागत करिए कस्तूरी का.
Good afternoon, everyone present over here, dignitaries on the dais, and my fellow participants. I'm Kasturi from National Security Studies. I'm representing the Germany Chancellor Olaf Scholz. And Germany, we, a prominent European nation known for our strong economy and rich cultural heritage, experienced a unique set of challenges and development. We place a strong emphasis on peace building and reconciliation as essential component of our foreign policy. Conflict prevention. We focuses on addressing the root causes of conflict, such as poverty, inequality, political instability, which supports initiatives that aim to prevent conflicts from escalating and advocates for early warning systems. Development assistance. We provide sustainable development aid to conflict-affected regions, aims to promote sustainability and economic growth. This assistance includes support for infrastructure, education, healthcare, and job creation. Support for civil society. We support civil society organizations work on peace and reconciliation initiatives. These organizations plays a vital role in fostering dialogues, building trust, and promoting social cohesion within the communities affected by the conflict. Humanitarian aid. We provide humanitarian aid to alleviate and suffering of people affected by the conflict, including refugees and internally displaced persons. In this aid includes food, shelter, healthcare, psychological support, reconciliation, and transitional justice. We recognize the importance of reconciliation process and transitional justice mechanism in post-conflict societies. It supports efforts to address past justice, injustice, promote accountability, facilities, healing, and forgiveness. We is among the powers which proposes an ability to create nuclear weapons, but we agreed not to do so under the Treaty of NPT, nuclear weapons and 2+4 treaty. Thank
you, Kasturi. Next is Nahila Tabassum, जो कि रिप्रेजेंट कर रही हैं द यूरोपियन यूनियन. नाहिला, प्लीज गिव योर स्पीच. जोरदार तालियों से स्वागत करिए प्लीज.
Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Nahila Tabassum from Zoology Department. Today, I'm represented as a president of European Union, Charles Michael. As you all know, world faces various translation and challenges to human existence in a turbulent era of international relations. The new age conflict, pandemics, climate change, armed race, and war by other means have caused serious disruption and global peace and security with an increasing gap of the developed and the developing countries. To address these challenges, to promote peace, it is necessary to prioritize multilateral engagement and encourage dialogue and mutual understanding between the countries and cultures. Negotiation and multicultural are the important terms of the two inclusive order. And now I am discussing what the European Union do for this. The European Union remains strongly committed to multilateralism. Intensifying cooperation with the G20 was among the participation establishing in 2019 Council conclusion as European Union Action on Strength Rule based on multilateralism. In February 2021, Joint Commission by the English and High Representative on Strengthen the European Union contribution and role-based multilateralism underlined under the European Union will further strengthen its role and influence in informal multilateral for such as G20 and the G7. European Union has adopted several initiatives to upgrade its relation with critical G20 regions to build peace. In 2021, for example, it launched also Indo-Pacific strategy to strengthen European Union-Africa partnership. 18 hatters and summit with the leader Latin America and Caribbean took place in July 23 in Brussels. European Union efforts are undertook to allow the implementation of draft trade agreement and extra. European Union also addressed the Russian vision of Ukraine and Black Initiative as well as some afforestation topic, multilateral development bank reforms, climate change, and just transition and financial inclusion. In conclusion, it can be concluded that the relationship between the European Union and the G20 is symbiotic and also sometimes it is a problematic, but European Union are maintain balance within the G20 and the European Union grouping. Thanks.
थैंक यू नागिना। अब मैं बुलाना चाहूंगी फ्रांस की रिप्रेजेंटेटिव प्रियंका सिंह को। कृपया अपनी स्पीच दीजिए। जोरदार तालियों से स्वागत करिए।
Good afternoon, honorable heads of state and esteemed dignitaries. As the representative of France, President Emmanuel Macron, this is Priyanka Singh from NSS department. Today I am here to present my country's stand on facilitating global consensus on conflict preventing and peace building. France considers that the conflict can only be resolved through the solution of two states living side by side in peace and security in accordance with international law. As we all know, France is a member of the international community, has been deeply concerned about the Russia-Ukraine conflict's impact on global security and peace. Since the start of attack on sovereign independent state Ukraine, France has supported Ukraine and its people. Along with other supporting states like Germany, France was part of the Normandy format, a diplomatic initiative aimed at facilitating dialogue between Russia, Ukraine, and pro-Russian separatists, in which France, along with other European countries and the United States of America, has imposed strict action like economic sanctions on Russia in response to its attack in Ukraine. France supports the momentum the Secretary General has invested in diplomacy for peace. We appeal that United Nations must invest more to ensure that no more conflict in any part of the globe and downstream to build lasting peace, strengthen United Nations capacities in mediation, early warming, and support for reconciliation, including through the growing power of the Peace Building Fund is essential. The 2020 Peace Building Architecture Review should provide an opportunity to go even further. Justice and the fight against impunity are essential preconditions for fair and lasting reconciliation. There can be no peace without justice. It is essential that justice be done in the aftermath of conflict, particularly in case of serious violation of international humanitarian law and human rights law. The aim is to ensure recognition for victims and break the influence cycle vigilance. That is why France is deeply convinced that the international institution of justice like criminal court plays an essential role in the fight against impunity with respect for the principle of complementarity. France shaping the G20 summit agenda, they focus on global economic stability, climate change, effectiveness, efficiency, imperativeness, international security underpin the discussion and collaborative efforts and the summit. According to me, France faced all these challenges like global conflict, political will, social healing, international cooperation, refugees, displaced persons. Thank you.
Thank you, Priyanka. Now I would represent Nandini Sharma for United Kingdom. Kindly represent your country. जोरदार तालियों से स्वागत करिए नंदिनी शर्मा का।
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Nandini Sharma from Department of Mathematics. I represent United Kingdom on the behalf of Rishi Sunak. Firstly, I would like to thank India from UK for hosting the Y20. First, I would like to pay attention on the historical context. Like United Kingdom not building peace from recently, it is building from time of Queen Victoria. And reflecting on the history, UK role in the Good Friday Agreement, that was significant example of peace building. Now, international diplomacy. If we talk about international diplomacy, one of the examples that it's the involvement in the Dayton Agreement. UK played a significant role in the negotiating and implementing this agreement, which ended the Bosnian War in 1990s. Now, multinational organization. The UK is a member of various international organizations like UNO and NATO, which are committed to promoting peace and security worldwide. One is the conflict. There are domestically and internationally. If we're talking about domestically, the UK focus on promoting peace and reconciliation within own borders. They invest in education and awareness programs to foster understanding and empathy among different communities. If we see internationally, they contribute troops and resources to United Nations peacekeeping operations, working alongside other nations to maintain peace and stability in conflict-affected regions. And one more thing, United Kingdom also taking an initiative of hosting a AUKUS. That is the trilateral organization which include UK, USA, and Australia. And AUKUS main aims to AUKUS to foster collaboration between nations, NGO, and international partners to address the root causes. I would like to some suggestions to G20 countries. Firstly, I would prioritize the education and awareness among the schools. First, we need to start from schools, then after colleges, and then strengthen global partnerships and also know the root causes of the conflict. And one more suggestion, I would like all the countries like USA, UK, and Australia be a part of AUKUS, and India and other countries should be thinking about to be a part of AUKUS for peaceful and harmonious conflict. Thank you.
बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद, बहुत धन्यवाद यूएस, जर्मनी, ईयू एंड यूके एंड फ्रांस के हेड ऑफ स्टेट्स को अपनी स्पीच के लिए। कृपया अपना आसन ग्रहण करिए। नेक्स्ट पार्टिसिपेंट्स को मैं बुलाना चाहूंगी जो कि रशिया से हैं राहुल सिंह, ब्राजील से हैं रूपाली सिंह, ऑस्ट्रेलिया सचिव गुप्ता, चाइना सरफराज और सऊदी अरेबिया के लिए सौरभ कुमार। प्लीज वेलकम टू द स्टेज। जोरदार तालियों से स्वागत करिए हमारे रिप्रेजेंटेटिव्स का। कृपया अपने फ्लैग के साथ में आइएगा। नेक्स्ट 5 जो हैं वो रेडी रहें। इटली के लिए आलोक राज, इंडिया के लिए सूरजभान शर्मा, इंडोनेशिया के लिए अंकित शर्मा और उसके बाद साउथ अफ्रीका के लिए विकास कुमार एंड नेक्स्ट अर्जेंटीना के लिए वसीम रजा। सो फर्स्ट रशिया को रिप्रेजेंट करेंगे राहुल सिंह। राहुल सिंह प्लीज अपनी स्पीच दीजिए। जोरदार तालियों से स्वागत करिए राहुल सिंह का।
Good afternoon, everyone. I am Rahul Singh. Stand before you today as a president of Russian Federation, grateful for the opportunity to address the pressing issue that having unfolded since the last G20 summit. Our world faces numerous challenges, and it is essential that we go together to find common ground and solutions. I want to acknowledge that the situation in Ukraine, which has been a topic of significant concern, Russia's action have led to international condemnation and sanctions. We believe that the G20 summit was a success for our position, as the joint declaration did not explicitly criticize or mention our actions. However, we understand the disappointment and concern expressed by Ukraine, the United States, the United Union, and other countries regarding the language and action on this matter. Another issue of great importance is the reform of multilateral lending institutions such as the World Bank and the International Monetary Fund. Russia and China have been advancing for increased influence and representation in the global financial system. While India, as the host and chair of this summit, has expressed reservation about some of these proposals, we appreciate their efforts to balance the interest of all parties involved. Turning our attention to the critical issue of climate change, I must acknowledge that Russia had faced criticism for committing to ambitious targets and actions to reduce greenhouse gas emission and transition to a low carbon economy. We are committed to addressing climate changes in a responsible and paramagnetic manner. We understand that urgency of the issue, and we will continue to work toward substantial solutions. In conclusion, the challenges we face as a global community are substantial, that they are also present as opportunities for collaboration and growth. Russia remains committed to engaging
constructively with all G20 members to find common grounds and promote global stability and prosperity. Let us work together to build a brighter and more secure future for all nations. Thank you.
Thank you, Rahul. Now, next is representative of Brazil, Rupali Singh. जोरदार तालियों से स्वागत करिए रूपाली सिंह का.
A nation deeply committed to the pursuit of global peace and reconciliation. Good afternoon, everyone. Here, Rupali Singh presenting as the head of state of Brazil. As we gather here at the Y20 event, we carry forward Brazil's legacy of promoting peace and reconciliation. We understand the importance of dialogues and diplomacy. Let me make you all to take a closer look at the Brazil's policy priorities in peace building and its international critical issues. But first, take a glance at the country's historical trajectory for the reason that is majorly genocide of over 80 indigenous tribes which were destroyed between 1900 and 1957, and many more events like this happened in past, offers a source of inspiration for its current approach. That trajectory has reflected a view of liberal order that is anti-imperialist, non-militaristic, and heavily multilateralist. Some international issues and Brazil's involvement in peace buildings are, first of all, regional leadership. In union of South American nations and the communities of Latin American and Caribbean states to promote conflict resolution and cooperation among its neighbors. Second one is peacekeeping missions through the participation in various conflict zones, including Haiti and Lebanon, which reflects our peacekeeping efforts made. Third and fourth is multilateralism, geopolitical relations. Last but not least, the environmental issue. Protecting Amazon forests and addressing deforestation has been a global concern with implication for peace and sustainability. Brazil actively involved in various international organizations and groupings, including BRICS, IBS, and CPLP, that is Community of Portuguese Language Countries forums, to promote peaceful solutions to global challenges. In conclusion, as we strive for a more peaceful and reconciled world, let us remember the power of unity, diplomacy, and collaboration. But let me leave with this question: how can each one of us, regardless of our roles and backgrounds, contribute to the global effort of peace building and reconciliation? The answer lies not only in our policies and actions as nations, but also in our collective commitment as individuals to foster understanding and harmony. Together, we can find the solution we seek. Thank you.
Thank you, Rupali Singh. Next is the representative of Australia, Sachiv Gupta. Sachiv Gupta, please अपनी speech दीजिए. जोरदार तालियों से स्वागत करिए सचिव गुप्ता का.
Good afternoon, everybody, all the esteemed head of the states and delegates. I would like to congratulate President of G20, President of G20 of Bharat, Prime Minister of Bharat, Prime Minister Modi. Thank you so much for having us and envisioning this theme of one earth, one family, and one future. It is actually propagating the topic which we all are here and discussing about, the peace and reconciliation. So this is what we are focusing on. The G20 New Delhi Declaration on Peace Building and Reconciliation is actually a very significant step forward in our collective efforts to build a more peaceful world. So Australia propagates and suggests the three key areas. One is facilitating our global consensus on conflict prevention and peace building. How? We need to actually agree on common principles and approaches to conflict prevention and peace building. This will help us to be more effective in preventing conflict and resolving it when it does occur. In this thing, the first thing is how to prevent the conflict, the prevention of the conflict. We suggest that we as a world, we need to invest in the early warning systems and conflict prevention mechanisms. We hold 85% of the global GDP, we as a G20 nation. So it's our responsibility to come together and propagate this peace. And these mechanisms will definitely prevent conflict from happening in the first place. Second is resolving conflict. How? When conflict does happen, we need to work together to resolve it peacefully. This means finding a negotiated solution that addresses the root cause of the conflict. Lastly, reconciliation. Once a conflict is resolved, we need to work to build a lasting peace. This means addressing the needs of the victims and survivors and promoting tolerance and understanding. In the end, I would like to finish my speech with a question. Is war helping anybody? Besides few conflict entrepreneurs, is it helping humanity? Thank you so much. Thank you so much for that.
Thank you, Sachin. Next is the representative of China, Sarfaraz. सरफराज आप अपनी स्पीच को दीजिए जोरदार तालियों से स्वागत करिए चाइना के रिप्रेजेंटेटिव को सरफराज सरफराज अपना माइक प्लीज ऑन कर लीजिए
Good morning, everyone. Here, Surfraj is present in front of you from BTech department as a president of China. Here, I am president of China and giving speech on the topic of reconciliation and peace building. Today, I stand in front of you as the president of the People's Republic of China to address the matter of permanent importance of pursuit of peace, reconciliation, and down of an era where the specific of no war is longer hand in ounce in the world. Throughout the history, humanity and has been plagued by the devastating consequences of armed conflicts, leaving behind the cruel destruction of suffering and despair. The horrors of war know no boundaries, sparing neither innocent nor combatants. We have seen the effect of conflict on the nation, society, and individuals. As it is our moral duty to work tirelessly towards the future where the destruction is neglected to the history. China tirelessly believes in the principle of peace, harmony, and cooperation. We advocate for the peaceful resolution of disputes through the dialogue, negotiation, and diplomacy. Our nation has a long history of aggression and interference in the affairs of others. We have committed to upholding the principles in the modern era. Reconciliation is a vital component of this individual. We must recognize that conflicts often arise from the grievances, historical injustice, and inequalities. In the world of teetering at the edge of conflict and terror, we imperative for the peace building and equality and have never been more apparent. At the last, I want to finish. I have faith and I maintain. At last, I want to finish and have faith that I can maintain the smile on every face of my citizen and maintain the theme on earth, one family, and one future. Thank you.
Thank you, Sarfraz. Next is सौरभ कुमार जो कि सऊदी अरेबिया को रिप्रेजेंट कर रहे हैं सौरभ कुमार प्लीज अपनी स्पीच दिए जोरदार तालियों से स्वागत करिए सौरभ कुमार का
Good afternoon. I'm Saurabh, representing Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. Ladies and gentlemen, today we gather to address a fundamental question. How can we facilitate global consequences on conflict? This question is not timely, but also crucial for well-being of humanity. Conflict, whether it's armed war, social discord, or economical rivalry, has devastating consequences. It tears communities, destroy economics, and claim countless lives. Therefore, it's our shared responsibility to work towards a world where such conflicts are prevented and peace is upheld. To facilitate this consensus, we must engage in open and honest dialogues. We need to listen to each other's perspective, acknowledging that there might be cultural, historical, and political differences that shapes our view on conflict and peace. Furthermore, a global consequences requires commitment. We must commit to investing in conflict, preventing strategies in diplomacy, in education, and in empowerment of communities. In conclusion, I want to facilitate a global consequences or conflict prevention. And peace building is not an easy task, but it's an essential one. It is a call to action of all of us, regardless of our background or beliefs. We come together in pursuit of world where the war is a distant memory. Thank you.
थैंक यू वेरी मच सौरभ कुमार, आप लोग कृपया अपना आसन ग्रहण करिए जाकर के। अब मैं नेक्स्ट रिप्रेजेंटेटिव्स को बुलाना चाहूंगी। इटली आलोक राज, इंडिया सूरजभान शर्मा, इंडोनेशिया अंकित मिश्रा, साउथ अफ्रीका विकास कुमार एंड अर्जेंटीना के लिए वसीम राजा। कृपया मंच पर आकर के अपना आसन ग्रहण करिए। जोरदार तालियों से स्वागत करिए हमारे लास्ट हेड ऑफ स्टेट्स रिप्रेजेंटेटिव्स का। So firstly, Italy is going to represent by Alok Raj. Alok, please start your speech for Italy. Please.
यहाँ पर उपस्थित सभी विद्यार्थी एवं आचार्यों को हार्दिक स्वागत। और मैं आलोक राज BA B.Ed थर्ड सेमेस्टर का विद्यार्थी हूँ और मेरा डिपार्टमेंट है एजुकेशनल स्टडीज। मैं इटली का प्रधानमंत्री जॉर्जिया मेलोनी का प्रतिनिधित्व कर रहा हूँ। मेरा सबसे पहला जो मुद्दा है वो है सतत विकास। और विकास मतलब विकास के साथ साथ हमें सतत विकास के ही विशेष जोर देना चाहिए, क्योंकि इससे इन्वायरमेंट का भी ध्यान रखा जा सकता है और वातावरण के जैसे क्लाइमेट चेंज या अन्य सभी समस्याओं को सतत विकास फुलफिल करता है लगभग। और मेरे जो भारत से जो द्विपक्षीय समझौता हुआ उसमें सतत विकास पर काफी हद तक मतलब बात बनी है और हम दोनों मिलकर के साथ काम करने वाले हैं। और दूसरा है मेरा DRI जो चीन से हमारे समझौता हुई थी 2019 में, उससे हम अलग होना चाहते हैं। और मैं आपको बता दूं कि इसका कारण था कि प्रत्यक्ष विदेशी निवेश यानी FDI से मेरा जो 2019 में चीन का जो FDI था इटली में वो मतलब $650 मिलियन था, जो घटकर $33 मिलियन आ गया है। और दूसरा चीन का इटली का चीन में निर्यात 14 मिलियन से 18.5 मिलियन ही हो पाया है, जबकि इटली में चीन का आयात $33 मिलियन से $50 मिलियन हो गया है। और हम चाहते हैं कि हम किसी देश पर निर्भर न रहें और हम आत्मनिर्भर बने। इसलिए जैसा कि अन्य देशों के साथ चीन का जो रवैया है, मतलब पहले अपने आप पर निर्भरता बना ले, उसको एक तरह से मतलब गुलाम बनाने के फेर में रहते हैं। तो हम ऐसा नहीं चाहते हैं कि ऐसा हो और हमारे साथ। और दूसरा मेरा मुद्दा है युद्ध किसी भी समस्या का समाधान नहीं और अंत हमको समझौता करना ही पड़ता है। तो हम चाहते हैं कि जैसे कि इस युग में हम शांति बनाए रखें और युद्ध से बहुत सारे हानि होते हैं, जैसे मानव अधिकार कानून होता है, बच्चों के अधिकार कानून होता है और महिलाओं के अधिकार कानून होता है। और हम चाहते हैं कि जितने विकसित देश हैं वो वन नेशन वन फ्यूचर और वन फैमिली जो भारत का प्रोग्राम है वो आगे चल करके जितने भी गरीब देश हैं, हम खासकर अमीर देशों को कहते हैं कि वो साथ लेकर के चले तो ज्यादा बढ़िया हो। और इतने कर करके हम अपना पानी बना।
बहुत धन्यवाद आलोक। नेक्स्ट हमारे भारत के रिप्रेजेंटेटिव आएंगे शर्मा। तो सूरजभान शर्मा, कृपया प्लीज लीजिए। जोरदार तालियों से स्वागत करिए सूरजभान शर्मा।
अयं निजः परोवेति गुणना लघुचेतसाम् अयं निजः परोवेति गुणना लघुचेतसाम् उदारचरितानामतो वसुधैव कुटुम्बकम्। मुझे खुशी है कि पूरा विश्व का मेरा परिवार मेरे साथ आज बातचीत करने के लिए उपस्थित है। मैं सभा में पधारे सभी निर्णायक बंधुओं का, शिक्षक गणों का और मेरे सभी साथियों का हार्दिक स्वागत करता हूं। साथियों, अगर हम विश्व शांति की बात करें तो अगर दुनिया भर में विश्व में शांति का कोई ब्रांड एम्बेसडर बन सकता है तो मुझे यह विश्वास है कि वो भारत बन सकता है। और भारत का शांति का इतिहास आज का नहीं, आदि काल से सनातन काल तक भारत शांति का प्रबोधक रहा है। चाहे गांधी जी हो या वसुधैव कुटुंबकम का विचार हो, हमने हमेशा विश्व को शांति के लिए मार्गदर्शन किया है, क्योंकि गंगा भी शिव की जटाओं में आई, यानी शक्ति भी भारत में आई, क्योंकि बिना शील के शक्ति पाचन नहीं हो सकता है। जिसके पास शील है वही शक्ति को संभाल सकता है और वही शक्ति विश्व में शांति की स्थापना कर सकती है। साथियों, भारत ने दुनिया को बुद्ध दिया है, युद्ध नहीं। साथियों, हमारे यहाँ ईश्वर से जब प्रार्थना की जाती है तो कहा जाता है अजय्यांच विश्वस्य देहि सशक्तिं सुशीलं जगद्ध्येन नम्रं भवेत्, यानी हे ईश्वर हमें वो शील की अजेय शक्ति दे जिसे विश्व जीत ना पाए, यानी जिसे क्रूरता जीत ना पाए, और वही शांति की स्थापना कर सकती है। साथियों, मैं आप सभी को बताना चाहूंगा कि संयुक्त राष्ट्र संघ के शांति प्रोग्राम में शांति की जो फोर्स है उसमें भारत का सबसे बड़ा योगदान है। करीब हमारे 49 मिशनों में 2,41,500 से ज्यादा सैनिक लगे हुए हैं, जिसमें से अब तक 168 सैनिकों ने अपने प्राणों का बलिदान इस विश्व की शांति को सुरक्षित रखने के लिए दिया है। साथियों, कोरोना काल में हमने देखा कि हमने अपने नागरिकों से पहले हमने विश्व को देखा। हम सिर्फ भौतिक शांति की बात नहीं करते हैं, मैं पूरी दुनिया भर से आए प्रतिनिधियों को अपनी बात बताना चाहूंगा। हमारे यहाँ यजुर्वेद में कहा गया है ओम द्यौः शांति अंतरिक्षः शांति पृथ्वी शांति रापः शांति रोषधयः शांति वनस्पतयः शांति विश्वे देवः शांति ब्रह्म शांति सर्व शांति शांति रेवा सामा शांति। हम सिर्फ भौतिक शांति की नहीं बल्कि अखिल ब्रह्मांड में शांति की स्थापना की विचार को लेकर चलते हैं। साथियों, नॉन स्टेट एक्टर्स की बात करें तो हमारे जैसे मीडिया है, एजुकेशन, ये शांति स्थापना में बहुत बड़ा अपना प्रतिभागी निभाते हैं। और भारत का विचार देखिए साथियों कि इन्हीं नॉन स्टेट एक्टर्स को हम यहाँ देव ऋषि कहकर पुकारते हैं। दुनिया के पहले पत्रकार जो मीडिया से थे, नारद, उन्हें हम देव ऋषि कहते हैं, यानी कि शांति संस्थापक को हम देवताओं का भी ऋषि मानकर चलते हैं। ये भारत का विचार है। साथियों, ग्लोबल साउथ और ग्लोबल नॉर्थ की जहां तक बात है तो मुझे लगता है कि साउथ और नॉर्थ में बांटने की जरूरत नहीं, हमारे लिए दो ही हिस्से हैं। बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद।
थैंक यू सूरज, जोरदार स्पीच के लिए। अब मैं नेक्स्ट रिप्रेजेंटेटिव को बुलाना चाहूंगी जो कि इंडोनेशिया से हैं, अंकित मिश्रा।
मैं अंकित मिश्रा, इंडोनेशिया के राष्ट्राध्यक्ष जोको विडोडो के प्रतिनिधि के रूप में शांति निर्माण और सुलभ युद्ध रहित युग की शुरुआत जैसे महत्वपूर्ण विषय पर चर्चा करने के लिए उपस्थित हूँ। इंडोनेशिया अपने समृद्ध इतिहास और गुट निरपेक्षता के सिद्धांत के प्रति प्रतिबद्धता के साथ उपरोक्त महत्वपूर्ण विषय की गंभीरता को समझता है। इंडोनेशिया शांति व्यवस्था को भंग करने वाले दुनिया के साझे शत्रु आतंकवाद के प्रति गंभीर चिंता जाहिर करता है। हम आतंकवाद के विनाशकारी प्रभावों से भली भांति अवगत हैं। हमने 2000 के शुरुआती दशक में बाली बम विस्फोट सहित कई अन्य आतंकवादी घटनाओं के साक्षी रहे हैं। हमारे अनुभवों ने हमें सिखाया है कि चरमपंथ को जड़ से खत्म करना पड़ेगा। इंडोनेशिया सीमा विवादों की जटिलता के मुद्दों को भी समझता है। हमने भी अपने पड़ोसियों से, खासकर मलेशिया से विवादों को लेकर जूझना पड़ा है। हालांकि वर्ष 2002 में अंतर्राष्ट्रीय अदालत में सीपादान और लिगिटॉन विवाद परस्पर बातचीत के जरिए हल होने के बाद इंडोनेशिया का विश्वास कूटनीतिक, रणनीतिक और अंतर्राष्ट्रीय संस्थाओं के नियमों के अनुपालन की ओर बढ़ा है। इंडोनेशिया का इतिहास वैश्विक संघर्षों में गुट निरपेक्षता और मार्गदर्शक के सिद्धांतों के अनुकरण करने वाला रहा है। हालिया रूस और यूक्रेन के युद्ध में हमने इसी गुट निरपेक्षता के सिद्धांत को पालन किया है और हम दोनों देशों से आज भी आग्रह करते हैं कि आपसी बातचीत और सहमति के जरिए इस युद्ध को समाप्त करें। इसके अलावा मैं इंडोनेशिया भारत प्रशांत क्षेत्र में बढ़ रहे तनाव, खासकर दक्षिणी चीन सागर में क्षेत्रीय विवाद के प्रति भी अपनी चिंता जाहिर करता हूं। दरअसल चीन सागर में अपने हालिया काल्पनिक मानचित्र के जरिए समुद्री कानून संधि 1982 का उल्लंघन कर रहा है। नाटुदा द्वीप समूह इंडोनेशिया का है। ध्यान से सुने, नाटुदा द्वीप समूह इंडोनेशिया का है जिस पर चीन लगातार अतिक्रमण कर रहा है। चीन को अपना अतिक्रमण फिलहाल बंद करना चाहिए। इस मुद्दे पर पहले भी वियतनाम, फिलीपींस, मलेशिया और भारत चीन के प्रति अपनी चिंता जाहिर कर चुका है। कुल मिलाकर इंडोनेशिया शांति, सुलह और गुटनिरपेक्षता का मजबूती से समर्थन करता है। हमें आतंकवाद, सीमा विवाद और क्षेत्रीय तनाव जैसे चुनौतियों ने सिखाया है कि हमें अंतर्राष्ट्रीय मंचों का स्वागत करना चाहिए, कूटनीति और बातचीत के जरिए समस्याओं का हल करना चाहिए। अतः आइए हम सभी गांधी की इस धरती से, इतिहास से सबक लेते हुए शांतिपूर्ण दुनिया के निर्माण के लिए साझा प्रतिबद्धता जताते हुए युद्ध रहित युग की शुरुआत की पहल करें। आप सभी G20 देशों के प्रतिनिधियों ने काफी गंभीरता से मुझे सुना, इसके लिए दिल से आभार, शुक्रिया।
बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद जोरदार स्पीच के लिए। अब मैं नेक्स्ट रिप्रेजेंटेटिव को इनवाइट करना चाहूंगी फ्रॉम साउथ अफ्रीका, दैट इज विकास कुमार। विकास कुमार प्लीज अपनी स्पीच दीजिए। जोरदार तालियों से स्वागत करिए विकास कुमार का।
नमस्कार, मैं विकास कुमार। यहाँ पे उपस्थित सभी G20 देशों के प्रतिनिधि मंडल और खासकर भारत के प्रधानमंत्री को मैं स्वागत करता हूँ। मैं आज आपके सामने न केवल दक्षिण अफ्रीका के राष्ट्रपति के रूप में बल्कि साथी देशों द्वारा साझा किए गए सपने के प्रतिनिधि मंडल के रूप में खड़ा। युद्ध रहित विश्व की शुरुआत, दुनिया का सपना जहां शांति और सुलह कायम है। आज हम सामूहिक रूप से एक उज्जवल और एक अधिक सामंजस्यपूर्ण भविष्य की दिशा में एक रास्ता तैयार करने के लिए शांति निर्माण और सुलह युद्ध रहित युग की शुरुआत विषय के तहत एकत्रित हुए हैं। हम प्रमुख रूप से 3 बिंदुओं से समझने का प्रयास करेंगे कि जो इस प्रकार है। प्रथम उद्देश्य संघर्ष की रोकथाम और शांति निर्माण पर वैश्विक सहमति की सुविधाजनक बनाने की दिशा में लगातार काम करने के लिए कहता है। यह कोई रहस्य नहीं है कि संघर्ष की जड़ें गहरी शिकायतों और गलतफहमियों में छिपी रहती है। इसे संबोधित करने के लिए हमें संवाद और कूटनीति की संस्कृति को बढ़ावा देना चाहिए। इस संबंध में दक्षिण अफ्रीका संयुक्त राष्ट्र संघ और क्षेत्रीय संगठनों को संघर्ष समाधान के लिए अपरिहार्य मंच के रूप में अपनी प्रतिबद्धता की पुष्टि करता है। हम सभी देशों से ऐसे संस्थानों को अपना समर्थन मजबूत करने का आह्वान करते हैं, यह सुनिश्चित करते हुए कि उनके पास संघर्षों को बढ़ने से रोकने के लिए आवश्यक संसाधन और अधिकार हैं। हमारा फोकस का दूसरा क्षेत्र इस निर्विवाद सत्य को स्वीकार करता है कि शांति और सुरक्षा की जिम्मेदारी सभी देशों के कंधों पर है, चाहे उसकी आर्थिक या राजनीतिक स्थिति कुछ भी हो। वैश्वीकरण के इस युग में ग्लोबल नॉर्थ और ग्लोबल साउथ को शांति की खोज में समान भागीदारी के रूप में एक साथ आना चाहिए। दक्षिण अफ्रीका न्याय संगत सहयोग के सिद्धांत में दृढ़ता से विश्वास करता है। हम वैश्विक उत्तर से आर्थिक असमानताओं, गरीबी और असमानता रहित मूल कारणों को संबोधित करने के लिए वैश्विक दक्षिण की ओर साझेदारी और समर्थन का हाथ बढ़ाने का आह्वान करते हैं। साथ मिलकर एक अधिक न्यायपूर्ण और शांतिपूर्ण विश्व बना सकते हैं। हमारे फोकस का तीसरा मुख्य क्षेत्र ये राज्य विनेताओं को विनिमय करने के महत्व को रेखांकित करता है, जो अक्सर दुनिया भर के संघर्षों को महत्वपूर्ण भूमिका निभाते हैं। दक्षिण अफ्रीका के राज्य तत्वों के खिलाफ एकजुट मोर्चे की वकालत करता है। धन्यवाद।
बहुत धन्यवाद विकास कुमार। नेक्स्ट मैं बुलाना चाहूंगी अर्जेंटीना के रिप्रेजेंटेटिव वसीम राजा को। जोरदार तालियों से स्वागत करिए वसीम राजा को।
I am Wasim Raja from Department of National Security Studies representing Argentina. Esteemed colleague, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, it is an honor to stand before you today. We stand united not only as representatives of our respective nations, but as the guardians of a shared vision, an era of no war. Today, we find ourselves at a critical juncture facing unprecedented crisis. The COVID-19 has underscored the importance of global solidarity and cooperation. We cannot ignore the pressing issues of climate change, which our planet demand immediate attention and concerted action. Economic stability and inclusive growth are paramount in our pursuit of a better world. We must address the challenges posed by digitalization and rapidly evolving digital landscape. Our history, experience, and views with regard to peace and reconciliation have proved to be invaluable tools to promote cooperation and foster values in non-interventionist fashion. We stand by Ukraine and urge early de-escalation and promotion of peace. We are committed to maintain balance between the pillars of sustainable development set forth in 2030 agenda, and we have played an active role in Paris Agreement for climate change. We would like to appreciate Indians' civilizational ethos of Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, non-violence and cultural diplomacy in promotion of global peace and reconciliation. G20 should involve youth, which is main demographic in governance, and peace process. We are one of the major donors to UN Peacekeeping Fund. Argentina is a strong supporter of women, peace, and security agenda. When it comes to North-South cooperation, we strongly advocate for South-South cooperation. For this cooperation, we have Argentine Fund for South-South and Triangular Cooperation. We have challenged the traditional global paradigm of North-South. Global South should be more involved in decision-making about development, and Global North should share its resource and technology for more equitable development. The proliferation of non-state actors and their role has led to a need to regulate them. These actors can be regulated by strengthening legal framework, improving law enforcement capabilities, working with the private sector, and building international cooperation. The pursuit of peace is not merely an aspiration, it is a collective responsibility, and it calls for unwavering commitment, genuine dialogue, and a recognition of our shared humanity. We believe that it is through collaboration that we can address the global challenges that transcend borders. Let our actions speak volumes to the generations that will inherit the legacy that we shape today. Thank you.
Thank you, मैं आप सभी से कहूंगी कि अपना आसन ग्रहण करें। आप सभी का बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद, सारे स्टेट हेड जो कि सारी कंट्रीज को रिप्रेजेंट कर रहे थे G20 की, आप सभी का बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद। अब हमारा हेड ऑफ स्टेट्स का राउंड यहीं पर खत्म होता है। नेक्स्ट राउंड है आपका फाइनेंस मिनिस्टर्स का। 2 मिनट्स फाइनेंस मिनिस्टर्स के पास में 2 मिनट्स ही रहेंगे बिकॉज वी हैव लेस टाइम, दिस इज व्हाई टाइम रिड्यूस्ड टू 2 मिनट्स ओनली। 1 to 2 minutes you can go. सबसे पहले स्नेह देवी जो कि मैक्सिको को रिप्रेजेंट कर रही हैं, प्लीज मंच पर आ जाइए अपने फ्लैग के साथ में। नेक्स्ट इज अभिषेक कुमार जो कि टर्की को रिप्रेजेंट कर रहे हैं एज अ फाइनेंस मिनिस्टर। नेक्स्ट इज शिव कुमार सिंह जो कि कनाडा को रिप्रेजेंट कर रहे हैं। कृपया जोरदार तालियों से स्वागत करिए हमारे फाइनेंस मिनिस्टर का। अर्पित नागरा जो कि रिप्रेजेंट कर रहे हैं द रिपब्लिक ऑफ कोरिया को, जोरदार तालियों से स्वागत करिए इसका भी। और राजन वर्मा जो कि जापान को रिप्रेजेंट कर रहे हैं। आप सभी का मैं स्वागत करती हूँ, सारे फाइनेंस मिनिस्टर्स का जोरदार तालियों से स्वागत करिए हमारे सभी फाइनेंस मिनिस्टर्स का। सबसे पहले स्नेह देवी आप अपनी स्पीच को स्टार्ट करिए एज ए फाइनेंस मिनिस्टर ऑफ मैक्सिको। प्लीज जोरदार तालियों से स्वागत करिए स्नेह देवी को।
Good afternoon, one and all. Myself, Sneh Devi, and today I am standing before you not only as a finance minister of Mexico, but as a representative of a vision of a world where peace, equity, and collaboration privilege over the conflicts and division. It is a vision of an era marked by reconciliation and cooperation, where the scare of war are replaced by the bound of the unity. Together, here to discuss peace building and reconciliation. Let us also envision an era of war, no war, a world where the global North and South unite in an equitable collaboration to ensure a brighter future for all. With a population of almost 130 million, rich culture, history, and diversity, and abundant natural resources. Mexico is among the 15th largest economy in the world and the second largest economy in the Latin America. When I talk about the GDP of the Mexico economy grew by 3.1% in 2022 and bounced back of 4.7% in 2021. 8% fall in the 2020 due to the COVID-19 pandemic. The economy has recovered its employment and GDP pre-pandemic level. Mexico stable microeconomy framework, the US dynamism and the solid manufacturing base will support economy growth. To accelerate sustainable economy growth and the poverty reduction over the medium term, Mexico need to address structural constraints like access to finance, insecurity, informalities, regulatory burdens, and infrastructure. Now, G20 members help to improve the financial condition of the country would be complex and the many specific tasks that require combination of short-term and the long-term strategy. Thank you.
थैंक यू स्नेहा। अब मैं नेक्स्ट बुलाना चाहूंगी अभिषेक कुमार को, जो कि टर्की को रिप्रेजेंट कर रहे हैं। जोरदार तालियों से स्वागत करिए अभिषेक कुमार का।
Namaskar, good afternoon, salam. Myself, Mehmet Simsek, Head of Ministry of Treasury and Finance, Turkey. And my thanks to all the delegates from far off nations. My agenda in today's meeting will revolve around for more financial assistance, countries should try to initiate blockchain and distributed ledger technology, DLT, for making equity in economy, both global north and global south. It creates internet of value. Here value refers to any record of ownership of asset like money, security or land titles. Passing of Middle East corridor through Turkey. Turkey has been bypassed in creation of trade corridor. Green finance initiative will go hand in hand by support of member nations. It functions in purchase of ecologically friendly goods and services in terms of infrastructure finance, financial assistance for industry or firms, and financial markets. Turkey is facing inflation of about 85%, so we are trying to conquer it with contractionary monetary policy. We are doing open market operation as an instrument to work successfully. We will make MNCs run by civil society or civil society organization to emerge as business association. To increase tourism, art and culture diffusion and its economy simultaneously, Turkey will initiate shooting of movies, global markets, workplaces in its territory and open it to whole world. At last, thank you to Bharat for such a great presidency of Y20 event.
थैंक यू अभिषेक कुमार। नेक्स्ट मैं बुलाना चाहूंगी कनाडा के फाइनेंस मिनिस्टर शिव कुमार सिंह का। जोरदार तालियों से स्वागत करिए शिव कुमार सिंह का।
हेलो, हार्टली आफ्टरनून एवरीवन। मैं सबको तहे दिल से स्वागत करता हूं और धन्यवाद करना चाहता हूं कि जो टीचर और जो हमारे सहपाठीगण है उस सब ने हमें इनवाइट किया इस मनोरंजन ये पावन कार्यक्रम के लिए। उसके लिए मैं तहे दिल से धन्यवाद करना चाहता हूं। सबसे पहले मैं बोलना चाहता हूँ कनाडा पहले भी ग्लोबल इकोनॉमी में बहुत मदद किया था, अब भी बहुत मदद करना चाहता है। जैसे कि कुछ मैं सजेशन देना चाहता हूँ। मैं सपोर्ट करता हूँ जैसे जीडीपी को इंक्रीज, ओवरऑल जो ग्लोबल जीडीपी है उसको इंक्रीज करेंगे। एम्प्लॉयमेंट है, सबसे पहले हम यूथ पर ज्यादा ध्यान देना चाहते हैं क्योंकि यूथ किसी भी कंट्री का यूथ है, मेन पावर होता है कि अगर आप यूथ पर ज्यादा काम फोकस किए, यूथ के डेवलपमेंट के लिए ज्यादा से ज्यादा फंड रिलीज किए, तो उससे यूथ का विकास होगा, तो ओवरऑल कंट्री का विकास होगा। तो इसीलिए मैं ज्यादा यूथ के एजुकेशन के लिए चिंतित हूँ, और उस पे मैं एक पहले भी काम किया था और अभी भी काम करना चाहता हूँ। यूथ को ज्यादा से ज्यादा प्रमोट करना चाहता हूँ, ताकि फ्यूचर में ये नहीं लगे कि हाँ ये कोई वार हो या कुछ हो। तो अगर यूथ पढ़ा लिखा हो तो सब कुछ हो सकता है। उसके बाद मैंने कोविड-19 के टाइम लगभग $50,000 में फंड रिलीज किया था, जो कोरोना, जो बाहर की कंट्री के पीपुल जो हमारे देश में रहते हैं, उसको मैंने लोन प्रोवाइड किया था। और यही और बहुत सारे हैं, लेकिन अभी टाइम के अभाव के कारण मैं इतना ही बोलना चाहता हूँ। धन्यवाद फिर से।
थैंक यू शिव कुमार सिंह। नेक्स्ट मैं बुलाना चाहूंगी अर्पित नागरा को, जो कि आपका रिप्रेजेंट कर रहे हैं द रिपब्लिक ऑफ कोरिया। कृपया अपनी स्पीच दीजिए। जोरदार तालियों से स्वागत करिए अर्पित नागरा का। अर्पित प्लीज ऑन कर लीजिए अपना माइक।
Hi everyone, myself Arpin Nara from National Security Studies as the Finance Minister of the Republic of Korea on the behalf of Jo Kyung-ho to address the pressing global concern, the revolution of non-state actors through concentrated efforts. Korea shows a good understanding of its money laundering and terrorist financing, is informed by ongoing risk assessment process. Its identification and cross-government response to the emerging risks posed by the virtual assets is positive. South Korea's financial watchdog, the Financial Service Commission, will monitor crypto whales with assets of over 100 million won, that is $70,000, to prevent money laundering efforts using digital assets. Korea has not had any terror financing prosecutions, which is consistent with this risk profile. Korean authorities follow the money approach in their law enforcement activities, which leaves them well placed to identify and investigate money laundering. Policy and operational changes since 2017 have had a positive impact on the number of prosecution and operational coordination. Now my suggestions for G20 countries to work on. Firstly, we have to upgrade G20 for establishing permanent staff to generate institutional knowledge on financial intelligence. Secondly, using follow the money method, which works by tracing the movement of funds through various financial transactions and record to uncover the source and destination of illicit funds. So it's not just about sharing financial intelligence. Now combining this traditional method of follow the money approach with blockchain technology, as we know, many banks spend approximately 900 million, 1.3 billion annually to improve and manage their know your customer and anti-money laundering processes. So building a blockchain-enabled AML KYC platform can streamline AML KYC processes by recording data information related to KYC and AML on a decentralized ledger. The data recorded on blockchain ledger cannot be altered or removed.
Arpit, kindly conclude.
So together we can enhance global financial security through collaborative action and innovation to wipe out terrorism. Thank you.
Thank you, Arpit. Next is रंजन वर्मा, जो कि रिप्रेजेंट कर रहे हैं जापान को, बट उससे पहले मैं नेक्स्ट 5 के नेम अनाउंस कर देना चाहूंगी. दे शुड बी रेडी. विपिन तिवारी, अनीता टीएस एंड मोहम्मद सरफराज, राही सिंह एंड इरफान चौधरी. प्लीज रेडी रहिए नेक्स्ट उसके लिए. सो आई वुड लाइक टू वेलकम रंजन वर्मा फॉर जापान. आप अपनी स्पीच दीजिए. जोरदार तालियों से स्वागत करिए रंजन वर्मा का.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests and fellow citizens. It is an honor and a responsibility to stand before you today as the Finance Minister of Japan. As we navigate the complex financial landscape of our time, I'm keenly aware of the challenges we face and the opportunity that awaits us. Over the subsequent 20 to 30 years after the atomic bombing, our economy underwent a remarkable surge, ultimately ascending to the position of the world's third largest economy during that period. The key drivers behind Japan's economy miracle were technological advancement, capital accumulation, improvements in the quality and quantity of labor, and an expansion in the international trade. From the 1980s until the 2023, our GDP growth average was 1.3%, it to the world's second largest economy. We also played key roles in the international forum as a member of both G7 and the G20. We and India's presidency of G7 and G20 has created a vital link between the global north and the global south on variety of crucial topics, including the Ukraine crisis as well as peace building. As we've been through the same pain, we announced around $7.5 billion of financial support to Ukraine in humanitarian assistance and assistance for recovery and reconstruction. During the COVID-19 pandemic, Japan demonstrated its commitment to global cooperation by developing the COVID-19 crisis response emergency support loan for the nations to stimulate economic activity. In the G20, under the theme One Earth, One Family, One Future, we underscore the significance of strengthening supply chains and revising corporate governance rule, which is crucial for achieving the sustainable and inclusive growth. Japan is focusing on addressing developing countries' debt issues through a common framework of debt treatments by the DSSI and implementing the G20 principles for quality investment with a plan for a free and open Indo-Pacific involving over the $75 billion
IT team, please check.
in public-private funds by the
Thank you, Ranjan. So all of you, please take your seat. And next participants are, please इनके लिए तालियां बजाइए. विपिन तिवारी जो कि रिप्रेजेंट कर रहे हैं यूएस. For Germany, Anita TS. For European Union, Mohammed Sarfraz. And for United Kingdom, Rahi Singh. And for France, Ifan Chaudhary. तो प्लीज मंच पर आइए और अपना स्थान ग्रहण करिए. एंड इनके बाद जो नेक्स्ट 5 पार्टिसिपेंट्स हैं उनका नाम मैं ले लेना चाहूंगी, वो तैयार रहें. आदित्य, सचिन कुमार, स्तुति शर्मा, आयुष मोदी एंड शाश्वत चौधरी. प्लीज अपना फ्लैग अपने साथ लेकर के जाइए. जो भी भूल गया है अपना फ्लैग ले जाए प्लीज. और कौन अपना फ्लैग भूल गया है? थैंक यू स्नेह. तो नेक्स्ट जो है मैं स्टार्ट करना चाहूंगी आपका विपिन तिवारी से, जो कि रिप्रेजेंट कर रहे हैं यूनाइटेड स्टेट्स को एज ए फाइनेंस मिनिस्टर. विपिन तिवारी प्लीज अपनी स्पीच दीजिए. जोरदार तालियों से स्वागत करिए.
Today, Vipin Tiwari, representing the Janet Allen, the finance minister of USA. It's an honor to address you today as I am here to attend the G20 meeting. I stand before you to discuss the crucial matters that requires our collective actions on the topic. First of all, we need to discuss what is peace. Peace can only be accomplished through when all countries should have their equal rights and equal power. And power is the only substitute where we can negotiate with the peace. So to achieve this goal, first of all, we need to emphasize on delivering the necessary resources to the developing countries. Developing countries should have all the resources that are needed for them to grow in the near future. And second of all, if the economic crisis occurs in any country, furthermore, economic crisis when occurs in any country, we should help from each of the countries to help them to develop more and advance. First of all, the things to get around the global conflict. There has been a war around between Russia and Ukraine that has caused so much disruption in the economy, and that's why we should take care of the conflicts by taking care of licensing on the weaponization of the countries. Third, addressing the food and the security. Food and security should be available to all the countries that are suffering from financial crisis, and if any crisis occurred in any country. So food and security is the basic and necessity that every country should have it. Global health challenges. every country should have global health challenges, and every country should take care of it. So thank you, and we should take care of it. What's the Kumkutum?
Thank you very much, Mr. Tiwari. Next is Anita T.S., who is representing Germany. So, Anita T.S. का जोरदार तालियों से स्वागत करिए.
Good afternoon, all. Ladies and gentlemen, honorable envoys and fellow leaders. Myself, Anita, I am from NSS department. I am honored to stand before you today as a representative of one of the world's best economic power, Germany, at this Y20 forum. In this precious time, as I come to the address for the better peace building system, it's a privilege to share my nation perspective. Our priority stands in the G20 not only in the financial matters but also the advocating for global cooperation as a pathway to peace. For strengthening the resilience of the global financial system and to improve the regulation and supervision of the financial market participants, including what is known as the shadow banking system. The goal is to ensure that all parts of the financial system are closely monitored, preventing taxpayers from having to cover the cost of fixing financial problems and requiring banks and financial companies to keep more of their own money and on hand to handle these issues independently. It is rooted in the belief that a resilient global financial system contributes to stability, reducing the likelihood of economic crisis that can strain relationship between nations. It is an acknowledgement that a strong economy can be a foundation of peace. These measures can not just only not about financial stability or peace, but also for the global or goal of creating a fair and inclusive global community by ensuring that all financial market participants are subject to strict regulation and responsibility. We are not just concerning about the economic stability, but also leveling the playing field for nations across the globe. We try to reduce the gap between more economic advances, global north and emerging countries of the global south. With this, I conclude that economy of the global conclude that it has to build on shared responsibilities and mutual respect, paving the way for genuine cooperation. Thank you all.
Thank you, Anita T.S. Next is मोहम्मद सरफराज फॉर द यूरोपियन यूनियन. जोरदार तालियों से स्वागत करिए मोहम्मद सरफराज का.
Good afternoon, everyone. Mr. Lagarde, today I presenting Finance Minister of European Union. Ladies and gentlemen, today I stand before you to address the passing issue of peace building and recognition of sharing in area of number. What this theme resonates deeply with the collective consciousness of the humanity, and it is interpreted that we take concerted action in three core areas. First, let us emphasize the importance of facilitating a global consensus of conflict prevention and peace building and world married by strife and vision. We must recognize that the peace we only be achieved when we collectively work to prevent conflicts before they escalate as standard. We must advocate by diplomatic solution, open dialogue, and conflict resolution mechanism that prioritize affairs and confrontations. Second, it is crucial to stress the equitable collaborations between the global north and global south of the burden on conflict disproportionately falls upon the less privileged regions of the world. To ensure costing peace, we must foster partnerships that bridge the economic, social, and political gaps between national leaders, champions over division as we strive to create a world where every nation has its positions and priorities. Finally, the regulation of non-state actors through concentrated efforts in permanent and towards interconnected world. Non-state actors will document influence and their action can either fuel, attenuate conflict. The European Union, represented by its finance minister in the G20 summit, should take the lead in developing strategies to hold non-state actors accountable for their action. By cooperation, we can mitigate the negative impact of this actor and contribute to a more peaceful world. In closing, as we gather there to discuss the path to peace building and recognition, let's remember that the pursuit of peace is not absence for conflict and rebirth, presence of justice, understanding and cooperation, understanding by facilitating a global consensus, by cultivating tensions, promoting equitable cooperation between national and regulation or state actors. We can truly assure in an area of number of war. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Mohammed Sarfraz. Next is Rahi Singh. She is representing United Kingdom. जोरदार तालियों से स्वागत करिए राही सिंह का.
Good afternoon, everybody. This is Jeremy Hunt as one-day Finance Minister of the United Kingdom. So, if we talk about upliftment of the state, the United Kingdom, through the view of economy, we have many key points. But to start with, the first, if we talk about, is the conflict prevention and peace building. Why do we actually need peace? This raises a number of questions in our mind. Basically, we can say no peace is equal to warfare, and warfare is equal to total loss of economy. The finance ministers of every country should take into the consideration the enforcement, monitoring, and awareness raising mechanism under the Security Council mechanism. Under the Security Council resolution on the protection of civilians in armed conflicts, UK is making peace with other countries and establishing good relations with countries over the globe. The second important point I would like to say about the trade or the import and export. It is a very essential step towards peace building. One can only maintain good relations with other countries with the help of good import and export system. At last, I would like to say that United Kingdom will work for the peace building and will definitely develop good economic relations, as well as the country will grow in itself and cooperate with other countries as well. Thank you.
Thank you, Rahi. Next is Ifan Chaudhary. He is representing France. So, Ifan Chaudhary, please अपनी speech दीजिए. जोरदार तालियों से स्वागत करिए इरफान चौधरी का.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests and fellow advocates of a world without conflict. Today, I, Ifan Chaudhary, representing Mr. Inclement Bruno Demere, humbled to address you all as the Finance Minister of France on a topic that should be at forefront of our consciousness: peace building and reconciliation. In a world that has witnessed the devastating consequences of war and division, it is our shared responsibility to chart a course towards an era of lasting peace. France, like many other nations, has faced its share of challenges and conflicts throughout history. We have been witness to the devastations of war and scars it leaves on individuals. We continually sought to build bridges of understanding and work towards reconciliation. We firmly believe that by pooling our resources and working together, we can prevent future conflicts and create a more prosperous and harmonious world. One key initiative that France is proud to be champion at is the creation of economic zones in conflict-prone areas. These zones not only attract investment, but also foster social cohesion by bringing together communities that have been divided due to conflict. We have seen the remarkable impact of such initiatives in countries like Rwanda, Somalia, and many more African and Asian countries. We have played vital role in post-conflict reconciliation. Furthermore, our nation is dedicated to promoting education and vocational training programs in conflict zones. Dear fellow members of G20, I would like to tell you that we are committed to support G20 in their peace-building efforts. We advocate for increased funding programs that prioritize post-conflict economic reconstruction. Last year, we were the fourth largest fund donator in the world with a fund of more than $15 billion. Ladies and gentlemen, the road to peace and reconciliation is often fraught with challenges, but it is the journey that we must undertake together. France stands ready to collaborate with our international partners, government, and civil society. A better future for all. We firmly believe that through economic empowerment and cooperation, we can sow the seeds of lasting peace and reconciliation, not only in our own nation, but across the globe. Thank you.
Thank you, Ifan. Now, please take your seat. Next participants are Aditya from Russia, Sachin Kumar from Brazil, Stuti Sharma, Australia, Ayush Modi, China, and Sashwata Chaudhary, Saudi Arabia. Please come to stage. So, Aditya, mic please pass to this one.
सभागार में उपस्थित सभी सदस्यों को मेरा नमस्कार।
Aditya is representing Russia. So, जोरदार तालियों से स्वागत करिए आदित्य का। आदित्य, प्लीज अपनी स्पीच स्टार्ट करिए।
G20 प्रेसिडेंसी के लिए मैं अंतम सिवन भारत के प्रधानमंत्री को धन्यवाद करता हूं। हम लोग सौभाग्यशाली हैं कि भगवान श्री राम जी की भूमि पर G20 का कार्यक्रम आयोजित किए हैं। सभी देश का परामर्श होता है, रूस का भी अपना एक मत है जो कि मैं आप लोग के समक्ष रख रहा हूं। आज रूस विश्व के आर्थिक अवस्था में 6वें स्थान पर आता है। ये कोई एक दो दिन की मेहनत की बात नहीं है, ये पिछले 3 दशक की बात है। आज रूस अमेरिकन शक्ति को भी चुनौती दे रहा है। हमारा देश भी शांति प्रिय देश है और सुलह चाहता है, लेकिन जब बात अगर देश की नेशनल इंटीग्रिटी पे आएगी तो रूस समझौता नहीं करेगा। मैं इंडोनेशिया के प्रधानमंत्री को बताना चाहूंगा, ये रूस की लड़ाई नहीं है। ये लड़ाई जब नाटो ने रेड लाइन क्रॉस एरिया करके अपने क्षेत्र को बढ़ावा दिया और पड़ोसी देश परगंडा और मोलिटोपोल को युद्ध के लिए मजबूर किया, तो उन्होंने हम लोगों से सैन्य शक्ति का मदद ली और आर्टिकल 7 के तहत रूस ने उनकी मदद की। वर्तमान में रूस की अर्थव्यवस्था $3.993 ट्रिलियन है और 2030 तक ये बढ़कर $6 ट्रिलियन हो जाएगी। विश्व गुरु भारत के साथ रूस का व्यापार एक दोस्ती का मिसाल है। 2021-22 में सबसे ज्यादा 1,31,124.68 मिलियन डॉलर का व्यापार हुआ है। और यहाँ एक पॉलिसीज है कि in response to the international sanction imposed on Russia, the government has implemented its own country measures. These country measures includes imports ban, restriction on the foreign goods products, and limitation on the certain technologies. The aim is to reduce reliance on imports and promote domestic productions in response to perceived economic threats. Thank you.
Thank you, Aditya. Next is Sachin Kumar. And Sachin is representing Brazil. So, जोरदार तालियों से स्वागत करिए सचिन कुमार का।
I am Sachin Kumar from Department of Chemistry and Chemical Sciences. I am representing Finance Minister of Brazil. Good afternoon, Mr. President Y20, Excellencies, and distinguished members of the forum. I bring to you the greetings from the people of the country, which has 10th largest GDP and the 8th largest PPP in the world. They join me in here as they capture the seriousness in this session's theme. No one on this forum is unaware of the turbulent consequences of war. The impact of war between two countries in north part of northern hemisphere can be felt in the food markets of South America, which is in southern hemisphere. But today, as I'm representing a multicultural and ethnically diverse nation, Brazil, let us not just focus on war from a macroscopic level, but also the microscopic one. Let us ponder about conflicts and crime based on gender, religion, ethnicity, culture, and more, which have caused serious disruptions on global peace. So, to uplift the life of humans across the globe, to bring more and more people out of poverty, to ensure that no one sleeps hungry, and to establish multiculturalism, I will urge from this platform to all the leaders of the globe to reach a consensus on this issue. At last, I want to say that we should also focus on grass level crimes and conflicts which are needed to be overcome for a better world. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Sachin. Next is Stuti Sharma. She is representing Australia. Stuti, please अपनी speech दीजिए. जोरदार तालियों से स्वागत करिए स्तुति शर्मा का.
There can be no peace among men and nations so long as strong continues to oppress the weak, so long as injustice is done to other people. Just so long we will have a cause for war and make a lasting peace an impossibility. I, Stuti Sharma, representing Cathy Gallagher, the Finance Minister of Australia. So, in the presence of August House, as the Finance Minister of Australia, it is an honor to address important topic of peace building and reconciliation, that too on an international level, and the urgent need to usher in the era of no war. Australia stands firm in its commitment to promoting peace, justice, and reconciliation around the world. From an economic standpoint, peace is a catalyst for sustainable development. It fosters an environment conducive to investment, trade, and economic growth. Australia is committed to promoting economic stability, prosperity as means to build peaceful societies. We believe that inclusive economic policies, job creation, and poverty eradication are integral for peace building efforts. Australia, being the 13th largest economy in the world, has a GDP of over $1.33 trillion. The defense budget prepares show spending for 2023 to 24 will reach $52.558 billion. That is 2.4% of the entire GDP. We have actively involved in peace operations for over 75 years. We have provided military and police personnel to 62 United States and other multilateral peace and security operations since 1947. Some of which are Indonesia, Kashmir, Korea, Israel, Congo, and Yemen. Australia is one of the founding members of UN. We are the 11th largest financial contribution to US peacekeeping budget. Australia has committed over 10 million. At last, war does not determine who is right, only who is left.
Thank you, Stuti. Next is Ayush Modi, and Ayush is representing China. Ayush, अपनी speech दीजिए. जोरदार तालियों से स्वागत करिए.
Good afternoon, everyone, and distinguished colleagues. This is Liu Kun as a Finance Minister of China. I am honored to address a esteemed member of the G20 today and share with you how China's financial policies and initiatives are actively working towards the global peace and assigning other countries in their development endeavors. There are so many types like Belt and Road Initiative. It is a testament China's commitment to fostering peace through economic development. This transformative initiative has connected nations across Asia, Europe, and Africa through infrastructure development, trade facilitation, and cultural exchange. Next is Asian Infrastructure Investment Bank. China is a founding member of Asian Infrastructure Investment Bank, dedicated to financial sustainable infrastructure projects in Asia and beyond. The IIB has provided vital financial supports for projects that promote inclusive growth, environmental sustainability, and regional proportion. And another one is debt relief and development assistance. China has a long history of providing concessional loans and debt relief to developing countries like Pakistan, Sri Lanka, and many more. In conclusion, China fairly reveals that financial policies and initiatives should not only contribute to economic growth but also advance global peace and prosperity. Thank you.
Thank you, Ayush. Next is Sasuta Chakrabarti, and he is representing Saudi Arabia. तो जोरदार तालियों से स्वागत करिए सासुता.
Your Highness, good afternoon to one and all present here. I, Sasuta Chakrabarti from BTech Department, representing Saudi Arabia as Finance Minister. So before we start our discussion, I want to declare that the era of no war has begun and globalization is in its peak. and Saudi Arabia, the largest economy in the Middle East, is all ready and equipped to carry this forward. I will start from our constant and continuous effort for peacemaking with Yemen. We have hosted and funded peace summit about the Ukraine-Russia war in Riyadh, where we have seen participations of many global leaders to maintain peace in the world. Now, shifting my discussion on financial sector, we have bought 10% equity of Vale in Brazil, where we have generated our national income through mining. Not only that, we have invested in other non-oil sectors such as tourism, entertainment, and technology to remove our dependency on crude oil for cleaner energy, which not only benefited us, but also will help to make the world a better place to live. Now, in recent years, Saudi has focused intensely on women empowerment because it has invested heavily in education and healthcare sectors. Lastly, I want to discuss about our program Vision 2030. It's a comprehensive plan to transform Saudi into modern and diversified economy, where we will not depend on crude oil anymore. So, and lastly, I want to thank India as we have signed a deal, which is also known as the Mega Energy Deal. Here, we will boost our cooperative sector, and it's also important for our Saudi-India strategic partnership. So it shows that Saudi Arabia is ready for sustainable development and want to grow with the world together happily and peacefully. Thank you and have a nice day.
Thank you, Shastur. So please आप लोग अपना स्थान ग्रहण करिए. Next, मैं last 5 representatives को बुलाना चाहूंगी. हरिवेश चौधरी, दीपेश कुमार, रजनी, विनिकिता, and Akriti. Please come to the space. अपना फ्लैग ले जाना मत भूलिए. प्लीज अपना फ्लैग ले जाइए. स्तुति, आप अपना फ्लैग ले जाना भूल गए हैं. So Harivesh Chaudhary is representing Italy. Harivesh, kindly start your speech. Harivesh का जोरदार तालियों से स्वागत करिए.
Good afternoon, everyone. I am Harivesh from Department of Educational Studies, and I am representing as Finance Minister of Italy. As said by many of my counterparts, that war and conflicts always result in destruction and instability, but they also come with a lot of economic costs and consequences. The most recent example of such conflict has been the Russia-Ukraine war, or better described as the invasion of Ukraine. Its consequences were not only limited to Italy or Europe, to be specific. Its consequences were spread all around the world. Italy's economy grew just 0.9% year on year in the last quarter, but it also contracted minus 0.3% when seen quarter on quarter, whereas the Eurozone grew only 0.1%. Russia and Ukraine both accounted for around 25% of the global wheat exports and more than 12% of the global energy exports. As a result, both energy prices and food prices went up and led to global inflation. The most victims of these price rises were the poorer countries in the global south, including both middle income and lower income countries. The inflation also went up in Europe, although it has come down to 5.9% in August, but it is still 2% higher than the ECB's target of 2%. Another major consequence of the war has been the state of debt in the global south. Countries are suffocating, and it needs more cooperation and coordination between south and north to counter this problem. At last, I would like to say we share a vision of a world order which is based on rule of law, which respects the territorial integrity and sovereignty of nations, and financial institutions which are more democratic, more inclusive, and more vibrant. Thank you.
Thank you, Harivesh. Next is Deepesh Kumar. Deepesh is representing Bharat. सो दीपेश अपनी स्टेज में जोरदार तालियों से स्वागत करेंगे दीपेश कुमार का।
नमस्कार। भारत की अध्यक्षता में हो रहे इस Y20 शिखर सम्मेलन में मैं दीपेश, भारत के आर्थिक व्यवस्था का प्रतिनिधि, आप सभी का तहे दिल से स्वागत करता हूं। आज मैं पिछले 5 वर्षों में भारतीय वित्त और अर्थव्यवस्था की स्थिति पर चर्चा करने के लिए आपके सामने प्रस्तुत हूं। यह अवधि हमारे आर्थिक परिदृश्य के विभिन्न पहलुओं के महत्वपूर्ण विकास, चुनौतियों और परिवर्तनों द्वारा चिन्हित की गई है। सबसे पहले बात करते हैं आर्थिक विकास की। इन पिछले 5 वर्षों के दौरान कई चुनौतियों का सामना हमें करना पड़ा, जिसमें से कोरोना महामारी एक है। परंतु इन सभी चुनौतियों को पछाड़ते हुए भारत सकारात्मकता की यात्रा को जारी रखा। इस अवधि के दौरान सबसे उल्लेखनीय उपलब्धियों में से एक प्रधानमंत्री जन धन योजना। इस पहल के माध्यम से वित्तीय समावेशन पर सरकार का ध्यान केंद्रित करना था। पहले से बैंक सुविधाओं से वंचित लाखों नागरिकों को बुनियादी वित्तीय सेवाओं तक पहुंच प्राप्त हुई, जिसका वित्तीय असमानता को कम करने पर गहरा प्रभाव पड़ा। साथियों, वैश्विक मोर्चे पर भी भारत अंतरराष्ट्रीय व्यापार और निवेश में एक महत्वपूर्ण साथी बनकर उभरा है। विभिन्न देशों के साथ आर्थिक संबंधों को मजबूत करने के लिए द्विपक्षीय और बहुपक्षीय कदम उठाए गए हैं। मेक इन इंडिया, स्टार्टअप इंडिया, स्टैंड अप इंडिया और डिजिटल इंडिया जैसे अभियानों का उद्देश्य घरेलू विनिर्माण को बढ़ावा देना, आत्मनिर्भरता और रोजगार सृजन को बढ़ावा देना है। डिजिटल इंडिया की पहल ने भारत को एक नई गति दी है। आज यूपीआई के माध्यम से रोजगार और व्यवसाय को एक नया दिशा मिला है। यूपीआई यूनिफाइड पेमेंट इंटरफेस, जो कि 2016 में भारत सरकार द्वारा लाया गया था, आज की तिथि में 26 करोड़ से भी ज्यादा लोग इससे रजिस्टर हो चुके हैं और 800 करोड़ से भी ज्यादा लेन देन इससे हो चुका है। भविष्य में यूपीआई को राष्ट्रीय लेवल से अंतरराष्ट्रीय लेवल तक ले जाने की भारत सरकार की पूरी कोशिश है। और हाल ही में हमने यूएई के साथ एक संधि हस्ताक्षर किए हैं, जिसमें यह कहा गया है कि अब ऑयल और गैस का पेमेंट डॉलर के मुद्रा में ना करके हम भारतीय मुद्रा यानी कि इंडियन रुपये में करेंगे। G20 फाइनेंस चेक में भारत की भूमिका वैश्विक आर्थिक एजेंडे को आकार देने में महत्वपूर्ण है। इसका अनूठा परिपेक्ष्य वित्त स्थिरता के प्रति प्रतिबद्धता, समावेशी विकास की वकालत, डिजिटल वित्त में विशेषज्ञता और अंतरराष्ट्रीय कर में सुधार में योगदान करना है। अतः भारत एक उभरती अर्थव्यवस्था है और इसे अंतरराष्ट्रीय भाईचारे की जरूरत है। अतः अंत में मैं संपूर्ण विश्व के लिए एक बेहतर और उज्जवल आर्थिक भविष्य की कामना करता हूं एवं भारत पधारे सभी अतिथियों का तहे दिल से धन्यवाद करता हूं।
थैंक यू दीपेश के लिए। नेक्स्ट इज रजनी। रजनी इज रिप्रेजेंटिंग इंडोनेशिया। रजनी प्लीज अपनी स्पेस दीजिए। जोरदार तालियों से स्वागत करिए रजनी का।
Good afternoon, one and all. Ladies and gentlemen, esteemed leader of G20 nation, this is Rajni Sharma, Department of Social Work, representing as Finance Minister of Indonesia. As a Finance Minister of Indonesia, I discuss the crucial topic of peace, building and reconciliation, ushering in an era of no war. Indonesia has a valuable perspective to offer on this matter. Global economy has been recovered from the pandemic. Now we are facing new race that Ukraine war. This war has created a spillover which is very critical for all the people and humanity. Food crisis is already accelerated with this challenge. The question to all of us is how we could carry through collective commitment to respond humanity's greatest challenge, that is climate change. As the finance minister, I believe to promote energy by creating opportunities and working together to pursue resilience and sustainable growth. Climate change is expected to have significant impact on Indonesia, such as rising sea levels, increased frequency of extreme weather events, and changes in rainfall pattern. This effect can lead to displacement of people and create climate refugees. We are cognizant of critical importance of economic stability in the pursuit of peace. Economic growth is prerequisite for lasting peace. As my role as finance minister, I am dedicated to creating conditions that promote both growth and equity. But true peace also includes justice and reconciliation. It is not simply the absence of fighting. We must heal the bond from the past by encouraging communication and mutual respect between all the population. Thank you.
थैंक यू रजनी। रजनी ने लास्ट मोमेंट पर आपका मोहम्मद यासीन को ज्वाइन किया था क्योंकि मोहम्मद यासीन ने लास्ट मोमेंट पे विड्रॉल किया था। तो थैंक यू सो मच रजनी। नेक्स्ट इज वनिकिता पंकज जो कि साउथ अफ्रीका को रिप्रेजेंट कर रहे हैं। थैंक यू वनिकिता, जोरदार तालियों से स्वागत करिए वनिकिता पंकज का।
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, honorable guests and fellow G20 members. I'm honored to represent E. Gordon Ghana as the Finance Minister of South Africa to discuss a topic of utmost importance, peace building and reconciliation. It is our firm belief that by fostering an era of no war, we can pave the way for prosperity and progress not only in our nation, but also across the globe. From an economic perspective, sustainable peace can only be achieved when there is equitable access to resources and opportunities. By addressing economic disparities and promoting shared prosperity, we can lay the foundation for lasting peace. South Africa recognizes the importance of peace and stability globally, and we have been committed to supporting peace-building efforts through financial contributions. Since 2015, South Africa has contributed over $1 billion to the UN peacemaking missions around the world. South Africa has also provided 1,189 uniformed personnel to the US peacemaking, making it the 15th largest contributor among all the UN members. One of the best steps towards peace building and reconciliation with Global North and Global South is through fostering network and partnerships. As the Finance Minister of South Africa, I would now acknowledge you with import-export businesses of our country. There has been a substantial increase of 26% and 30% in the import and export business of South Africa. In conclusion, peace building and reconciliation requires a collective effort from all nations. As the Finance Minister of South Africa, I pledge your commitment to supporting international peace building initiatives and work toward an era of no war. Let us join hands, transcend borders, and work towards a world where peace and reconciliation prevails. Thank you.
Thank you, Ankita Pankaj. Next is Akriti Utpal, and she is representing Argentina. तो जोरदार तालियों से स्वागत करिए आकृति उत्पल का।
Ladies and gentlemen, representatives from around the globe, and honored guests. Today, as Argentina's finance minister, I address the G20 summit aimed at the unparalleled global challenges. The economic recovery demands that we deploy precise macroeconomic and structural strategies. Our goal is clear. We want to stimulate growth while safeguarding the vulnerable. Current global growth is below expectations, surrounded by the uncertainties. Tightened financial conditions threaten debt stability, and rising inflations are looming the geoeconomic tensions. This reinforces our call for coordinated monetary, fiscal, and structural policies. Our commitment reaffirms firm to the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development. Argentina applauds the Financial Stability Board's proactive steps in this direction. Argentina is poised to join hands with international community fostering sustainable and inclusive growth. Today at the G20 summit, Argentina wholeheartedly reaffirms its commitment to rule-based, non-discriminatory and transparent multilateral trading system with the WTO at its very core. Trade and investment stand as vital engines of growth and prosperity. To fully harness their potential, we must promote policies that ensure benefit for all. This includes creating an environment that champions fairness, openness, inclusivity, and sustainability. MSMEs, especially in the developing countries, face significant hurdles in accessing information. We endorse the Jaipur call for action for booster in the MSMEs integration into the global trade. We appreciate G20's initiative for generic framework for mapping global value chains that is a vital tool for gauging the risk and enhancing resilience. The digitalization of the trade documents mark a progressive step in the modern trade. Argentina stands to ready to adopt these principles and urges others to do the same. Argentina is committed to equitable, efficient, and sustainable global trade practices. Thank you.
Thank you, Akriti. इसी के साथ हमारा फर्स्ट सेशन का स्पीच राउंड खत्म होता है। 2 मिनट आपके पास है डिस्कशन एंड क्वेश्चन आंसर के लिए। सो अगर हमारे रिप्रेजेंटेटिव्स में हेड ऑफ स्टेट एंड फाइनेंस मिनिस्टर को आपस में कोई क्वेश्चन है तो आपस में परिचर्चा कर सकते हैं एंड हमारे जजेस भी क्वेश्चन एंड आंसर कर सकते हैं।
परिचर्चा लंच में करेंगे,
सिर्फ 2 मिनट की है, ठीक है। तो परिचर्चा को हम जारी रखेंगे लंच के बाद। मैं सारे पार्टिसिपेंट्स को इनवाइट करूंगी लंच के लिए और सारी फैकल्टीज एंड टीम। अच्छा, पार्टिसिपेंट्स का बेसमेंट में लंच है, वो अपने कूपन्स को ले जाना बिल्कुल भी ना भूले और हमारी सारी फैकल्टीज को कमेटी रूम में बुलाना चाहूंगी, कमेटी रूम लाइब्रेरी में बुलाना चाहूंगी लंच के लिए। प्लीज हमें ज्वाइन करिए लंच के लिए।